So welcome everybody to the Roadshow for Pinnacle Foods. My name is Stephen Carant. I am the Chief Operating Officer of Craft Capital, the underwriter and the lead banker. I'm going to just make a quick introduction and then I'm going to hand it off to Scott Powell, who will run the actual roadshow. But with us this morning, we have management of Pinnacle. The founder and chairwoman, Li-Shu Du, is on the call with us here today, along with CEO Zhulong Yu and the CFO Wenchai Pan, who goes by Wilson. So they will be answering any questions for the Q&A at the end of the presentation. In the meanwhile, we will get this going. So if Zhulong, if you can move the slide along. This is the disclaimer and the forward-looking statements. Obviously, I know everybody took the time to read this in there if they had the deck. Next slide, please. So again, this is the presentation for Pinnacle Foods IPO. Ticker will be PFAI on Nasdaq. We are raising or selling 1.8 million shares. We anticipate a price of $4 to $5 a share. Looking right now at approximately $7.5 million offering. Craft Capital is the underwriter, and at this point, and we're looking, just so everybody understands, we're looking to get a book into Nasdaq by week's end, and we would like to have this trading within the next 7 to 10 business days. At this point, I'm going to hand it off to Scott Powell, who will run the presentation. And as I said, we will have a Q&A at the end of the presentation, and management will answer any questions that you may have. So at this point, Scott, take it away.
Will do. Thank you, Stephen, and welcome everyone. Good morning to the North American audience. Good evening to the Asia-based audience of attendees. Welcome everyone to the Pinnacle Food Group initial public offering. Thank you for joining us today. As Stephen mentioned, my name is Scott Powell. I'm the president of Skyline Corporate Communications Group, LLC. We are Pinnacle Food Group Limited's investor relations firm, and I will be presenting today the company's PowerPoint/free writing prospectus on behalf of Pinnacle Food Management, who, as Stephen mentioned, and as you can see, are also attending today's call. They will all be available after the presentation to answer questions that you might have. Pinnacle Food Group Limited is a company of smart farming, growing systems, and data-driven support services. As Stephen mentioned, we also have the company's founder and chairwoman, Li-Shu Du, the company's CEO, Zhulong Yu, and the company's CFO, Wenchai Wilson Pan. Now, without further ado, let's get started. Stephen has already shown you the disclaimer and forward-looking statement slide, as well as the IPO offering slide. So let's begin here on this slide, the Who We Are slide. So, who is Pinnacle Food Group Limited? Pinnacle Food provides hydroponic growing systems. That means systems that grow vegetables and plants without using soil. The company sells these systems to a full range of customers, including individual households, community groups, and urban farms. Pinnacle offers most of these customers data-driven, customized support that allows them to optimize their smart farming productivity. Next slide. So what exactly is hydroponics? If you're new to the concept, hydroponics is a way of growing vegetables and other plants without soil. Instead, the plants are cultivated in a nutrient-rich solution and provided with carefully controlled light, temperature, and other environmental conditions to optimize their growth. So what are the benefits of hydroponics compared to traditional soil-based growing methods? As you'll see, there are numerous benefits. For instance, plants grow faster and they can be cultivated year-round using 90% less water. Plus, since hydroponic plants can be stacked vertically, they deliver 4 to 6 times higher crop yields than soil-grown plants. By crop yields, we're talking about the actual weight of the harvest produced in a specific area, like square feet or square meters. Next slide. Here's a brief look at the company's journey. Pinnacle Food Group Limited was established in 2016 and ventured into the smart farming industry in 2022. In 2023, the company began selling its smart farming systems, Model S and Model M, to household customers through distributors in Canada and New Zealand, while also launching Model A for community customers in Canada. Last year, Pinnacle secured $1.8 million in financings through equity offerings, and they finalized the beta version of its Model R urban farm. In February of this year, Pinnacle Foods submitted its F1 registration statement. Next slide. The company currently offers 4 categories of hydroponic growing systems and services. The model names form the acronym SMAR, reminiscent of the word smart, and they are designed to meet growing needs at increasing scales. The company's service is called FAS, or FAAS, which is short for Farming as a Service. What you will see on the screen right now is the Model S, which features a single growing basket for households, equipped with LED lighting and a circulating nutrient pump. This model is available in Canada and New Zealand through the company's distributors and includes the company's FAS Light service package. Next slide. Pinnacle Foods Model M is tailored towards households with slightly greater growing demands. It's a stackable growing system equipped with sensors that collect data on plants' growth conditions and send it to customers via a mobile app. This model is currently available in Canada and New Zealand through the company's distributors and includes the FAS Plus service package. Next slide. Pinnacle Foods Model A is a modular, scalable, hydroponic growing system crafted for community groups with more extensive growing requirements. Its sensors track a broad array of growth metrics to guarantee ideal conditions. Currently, it's sold directly by Pinnacle Food in Canada and comes with a FAS Pro Service package featuring mobile app monitoring and on-site customer support. Next slide. Finally, Pinnacle's Model R system is tailored for urban farmers seeking commercial scale agricultural production. This innovative solution delivers substantial agricultural yields and includes the company's comprehensive FAS enterprise service package. It comes with a full suite of services featuring personalized on-site consulting, custom design plans, and much more. Next slide. Now, a little bit more about Pinnacle Foods' smart technology. Traditional farming heavily relied on user experience and visual observations. Pinnacle's growing systems utilize embedded sensors to collect data for environmental conditions such as light, temperature, humidity, nutrient solution concentration, and so forth. These sensors can transmit this information to Pinnacle's data center, which utilizes algorithms to analyze this data and determine if these environmental factors are being optimized. Finally, the company's data center transmits this information back to users who access this data through Pinnacle's mobile app. Users of Pinnacle's systems are continually supplied with precise, data-driven insights and therefore may achieve the optimal plant health and productivity. And I should note that Pinnacle is one of the very, very few companies to offer both the hardware and software package. So both the hardware, the seeds, and the equipment to grow, but also the software to monitor these environmental conditions and optimize them. Next slide. So how and where does Pinnacle market its systems? The company's Model S and Model M household systems are available through the company's distributors in Canada and New Zealand, while the company's Model A system for community gardens and their Model R system for urban farmers are sold directly by Pinnacle Food via online promotions and offline services. Next slide. So an industry overview, the company is very confident that it's in a promising and growing industry. Several independent research studies forecast rapid growth in the global hydroponics market. The business research company projects a 13.7% compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, in fresh produce demand from between 2024 to 2029. Additionally, the Straits Research Report indicates that the global hydroponics market will experience a compound annual growth rate exceeding 20% between 2024 and 2032. Next slide. Now, I'll summarize the company's recent financials. I'm delighted to share that Pinnacle Foods' financial performance with you today has been impressive. For the fiscal year ended December 31st, 2023, the company achieved revenue of $2.1 million with a net profit of just under $1 million, $918,000 to be precise. This marked a significant milestone as 2023 was the first year that Pinnacle launched its smart farming business. By comparison, in 2022, the company's revenue was $177,000, entirely from its ginseng business, which was discontinued in 2023. For the 6 months ended June 30th, 2024, the company recorded a loss, but this was primarily due to substantial expenses tied to its initial public offering preparations. Next slide. Now, let's review some highlights from Pinnacle Foods' balance sheet. As of December 31st, 2023, the company's total assets stood at $3.8 million, with total liabilities of $3.2 million. By June 30th, 2024, total assets grew to $4.6 million, and total liabilities increased to $3.4 million. The rise in total assets was largely driven by 2 successful fundraising rounds in the first half of 2024. Pinnacle Food raised $1 million in March, and an additional $800,000 in May of 2024. Next slide. So what strategies does the company plan to employ to grow its business moving forward? Well, with the funds raised from the company's initial public offering, it will improve the features and performance of its hydroponic growing systems. The company's primary focus will be on developing solutions customized for urban farmers producing commercial-scale agricultural yields, as they offer the greatest potential for single-source revenue growth for Pinnacle Food. Next, Pinnacle will intensify its marketing efforts, utilizing social media platforms to increase brand awareness in its current markets of Canada and New Zealand, while also expanding into several new geographic regions. Additionally, Pinnacle Food will broaden its reach by partnering with distributors in various new countries, significantly enhancing its global presence and opening up further revenue opportunities. Next slide. Now, the company's founder and chairwoman, Li Shadu, the company is very confident that her skills and experience will greatly support Pinnacle in achieving these future growth objectives and goals. She holds a degree from Hebei Agricultural University. She completed Harvard University's Senior Executive Leadership Program, and she has served in senior roles at the People's Bank of China for more than 15 years. Next slide. Pinnacle Foods management team brings a wealth of experience to the table. Wenkai Wilson Pan, the company's CFO, brings over 20 years of corporate finance experience, holding a CPA certification from China, having passed the CPA exam in the United States, and he is also an active CFA charter holder. The company's chief data officer, Shusong Pang, contributes 30 years of experience in data management and telecommunications. Pinnacle's chief operating officer, Kuei-Hang Yu, contributes over 10 years of experience in operation and management. And finally, the company's CEO, Julong Yu, contributes more than a decade of leadership experience in the food and beverage and coffee industries. Next slide. Pinnacle's board of directors also includes 3 independent directors who bring expertise in accounting and finance, pharmaceutical research, and investment management. Next slide. Now that you've learned more about Pinnacle Food Group Limited, allow me to highlight the key reasons to consider investing in Pinnacle Foods' initial public offering. First, the company stands out among smart farm companies by offering both hardware and software data-driven intelligence solutions. One of the only companies to our knowledge, and probably the only one going public, that offers both hardware and software solutions here. This delivers substantial added value and convenience to Pinnacle Foods customers. Second, Pinnacle targets a full spectrum of smart farming clients with its offerings, from the kitchen counter to small households to large commercial scale urban farms. Third, the company provides services and support packages for each product, which will drive additional revenue to the company. Fourth, Pinnacle is pursuing regional expansion to further increase its revenue streams. Additionally, multiple independent research reports forecast rapid growth in the global hydroponics market, positioning Pinnacle Food very well for future growth. Pinnacle also operates with an asset-light approach to keep operational costs low. Finally, the company delivered both a strong operating margin and impressive bottom-line results in 2023. Next slide. So this brings us to our final slide. Feel free to contact Pinnacle's management team or the company's underwriters in the IPO, Craft Capital Management. Thank you very much for your time today. We'd now like to open the floor to some questions from the audience. In order to ask a question, please either raise your hand and we will unmute your line, or please type your question into the chat box, which only we as panelists will be able to see. And that chat box is at the bottom of your screen. And we have Pinnacle Management here to answer your questions. So we're now very pleased to take your questions.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you so much for the excellent introduction of our company. So if you want to ask any question, please raise your hand. Again, we got about 80 people online right now. Me and Wenkai are happy to answer any questions Let me see here. I will now stop the screen share. And okay, looking at attendees. Anybody have any questions? Please raise your hand. Here we go. Okay. Welcome.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hey, so I was wanting to know, I seen that the Model M, we had a public company for years we got behind called AeroGrow. Is this, did you pick up AeroGrow or is this just another version? Are you familiar with AeroGrow?
Thank you for your question. That's an excellent question. Can I have your name and then the company you're representing?
Yeah, it's Carlo Corzine and Dawson James. This was a public company that sold their products in a lot of the stores, home improvement stores in the United States, and I don't know what happened to it. So I'm just wanting to know if this is part of it.
So first of all, Pinnacle Food has a wide range of hardware and services, and it's all data driven. And then we are starting from our Model S, which is a smaller device, and slowly, testing the water and getting to the market. And Model M is actually our second stage, which suitable for a slightly higher growing need. So there are a lot of competitors out there, but as Scott just mentioned, we are one of the few companies that offer comprehensive services and hardware. So although there's also some similarity towards this product, but the user experience is vastly different, I believe. And if you look around the market, a lot of people actually bought the hydroponic devices and then ended up leaving them in the garage. So we believe that we can tackle that pain point and then come in and help the customer to make the product more sustainable and usable. Hope that answered your question.
Yeah, that's fine. I just I don't know where it's at. Then hopefully there's no patents you'll be crossing on that one.
Thank you for your question and concern. Thank you. Okay, now let's move on to the next question here. Okay, we got someone from Q&A here. We got a question from Neil Z. Can you talk about your organic growth levels going forward? When do you want to tackle that question? In terms of financial, and then I can work on some business side, like organic growth.
Actually, if you look at the industry growth, it's forecasted by the third-party research is over 20% compound annual growth rates. I think we are very optimistic about our growth in the future. So, but I cannot tell exactly how much is our revenue at this stage. So,
okay, thank you for your answer. Hopefully that answered Neil's question. Next, we have some anonymous attendee, which is mysterious, but it's an excellent question here. Who is your competitors and what about market competition? So we are pivoting towards hydroponic and smart farming right after COVID. So we look at the landscape and realize, there's a lot of companies. First of all, agriculture itself is over $1 trillion market. So this is just a fact. And then hydroponic, as the research just mentioned, there's a huge demand for the produce. There's a huge demand for hydroponic growth. So we look around and then we don't see any directly competitor because we position ourselves as a service provider, and a lot of companies actually offering either they're either the hardware or just the service, or a lot of them are actually tackling the traditional farming with the new sensors and stuff. So this is a market that's very high ceiling, rapid growth, gigantic market share to tackle. So we actually looking forward to more competitors in this field because if you don't have enough players, there's no awareness of not enough customers in the industry. So this is not something that heavily competed. Different companies are using different approach, different business models. We are all kind of experimenting in this industry, and then we believe we are the one that, just like Scott mentioned, one of the few companies that offer not only hardware but also software. And strategically, we're starting small, slowly growing our hardware, service, and also our technology. So hopefully that answers your question. Okay, we got some more question here. We got hello from New Zealand. Thank you for audience from New Zealand. Albert also asked, how might intelligence agriculture, I believe, smart farming evolve over the next decade? Can you give your vision? That's an excellent question from Albert again. We have high hopes. I think the more you look at it, the more it's not just about technology. This is actually a food crisis problem. So if you look at it, we're going to be growing about 2 billion more people by 2050. So there's a lot of mouths to feed. And then the farmable land is shrinking day by day. You look at, there's a climate change, there's a food shortage. So it's not really just the technology. It's really about growing more food with a limited space. So all the countries or anyone have no choice but growing vertically, smartly, more productively. So this is something we believe will be even bigger than like an electric car. It's going to be a huge competitive strategy for any country. So we have high hopes for the next decade, and then we believe that AI technology is evolving day by day, and that's going to help a lot with the smart farming as well. Okay, we got Juliet coming, asking, looking forward, can you talk about your complex investment and what you will be focused on? Wenkai, do you want to answer that question? So can you talk about your CapEx investment and what will be focused on?
As we mentioned in our use of the IPO funds, we probably invest like 40% in our product research and development. So that's a rough number.
Okay, thank you, Wenkai. Okay, we got a couple more questions here. Anybody, can you raise your hand if you have any questions? And then feel free to speak if you want. All right, so we have a Zoom user here asking, where is your biggest market? And do you see tariffs from US affecting your business? That's an excellent question. I think, we're starting out as a global vision company. So we're based in Vancouver, probably Canadian. And we are actually, starting very beginning, like we said, our strategy is starting from small and slowly moving the scale, one step at a time. And then we also have excellent, probability, showing our competitive strength. So it's not really about one country or another. We are actually looking the whole market globally, and so on and so forth. So there's always up and downs when you're doing business, right? So we have to adapt. We have to change swiftly. And then when you are going global, there's always different kind of a localization problem or market you have to adapt. So we are confident this business, we're in great business in the long term. So there's always a bumpy road. So hope that answers your question. Okay. So if anyone has a question, please type into the chat box or raise your hand. Okay. Okay. 10:05. Okay, here we go. We got a couple more questions here. Anonymous attendee, which geographies do you plan to focus on expanding into? Well, there's only so much I can disclose at this stage. Like I mentioned, we are going globally, and then we would like to go to any country that has a huge focus on smart farming and precision farming, which is a lot. If you look at different countries, Asia Pacific, Middle East, Europe, North America, nonetheless. So at this stage, I cannot disclose, but we have a big plan ahead. So please follow us closely, and then we will release more press release in the future to disclose that. Okay, we have Yafu Guo. What is the company's valuation? Which valuation model is used? This is Yafu Guo from TJ Capital. That's an excellent question. I believe traditionally a lot of companies are using PE to evaluate a company, but that's more suitable for traditional industry. So we believe we are a pretty new company. We are rapidly growing. So traditional PE is very hard to evaluate us. We have hardware, we have the software, we have service. We are also data driven, and then we are harness the power of AI. So this is not a single a traditional model like a farming industry. So it will be very hard to using the traditional evaluation. At this point, we are profitable, and then also we are not focusing on just one industry. So hope that answers your question. Yeah, you want to?
I can just add the past valuation we had. So for the first $1 million raised last year in March 2024, our valuation was roughly $10 million. Then 2 months later, we raised $800,000. The valuation was roughly $20 million. So this time for the IPO, our valuation was roughly $50 million. So each time it's the share price for each investor almost doubled. So and we are a very fast growing company. So I think our valuation is based on the market and the supply and demand and of the market. So.
Okay, we got another question here. Do you currently have major contracts or partnerships that provide long-term renewable stability? Do you want to tackle on that, or do you want me to? Major contracts or partnerships. I can actually answer this one. Yeah. So as we mentioned, our Model S and Model Ms are actually sold to our distributor in Canada and New Zealand. And the Model A and Model R is more like us coming in and then custom made and then starting from scratch design and all. And then also in the slides, we mentioned that we are going to be focusing on the bigger, more enterprise level businesses that are going to offer a long-term or higher value revenue stream. The reason why we came in as a service provider and offering fast services is also because a lot of them ended up becoming, subscription services that will be eventually generating, reoccurring revenues for our business. So hope that answers your question. All right, next one. Let me see here. We got a lot more coming in. So if you want to talk, you can also raise your hand just to remind you. Okay, Wilson, do you want to tackle this one here? Will the $6 million raised in the IPO be enough to support operations, or do you anticipate needing additional capital soon?
I think at this stage, the 6 million raised will be enough for at least for the next 6 months for the growth. So yes, in going forward in the future, we do have the plan with additional funds.
Okay,
but not at this moment.
Okay, perfect. So we got a Zoom user here. Are you going to have insiders investing in your IPO as well? Also, how long are insider shareholders locked up?
So for the other management team and the majority shareholder, we do have the 6 months lockup period.
Yeah, I think that will answer the question. Yeah, perfect. All right. Juliet asks, is the existing software and hardware technology all patented? That's something, unfortunately, I cannot disclose just yet. We do have patents. If you look at our red herring F1, so this is something we would like to close maybe in person and not in this setting. So thank you for that question, Juliet. Do we have more questions? Please raise your hand or type into the box. Here we go. Emily asked, could you share more information about your subscription service that you just mentioned? Thank you. So we offer a comprehensive fast service starting from Light, Pro, Plus, and also Enterprise. As we mentioned, we starting from smaller devices and then slowly going to medium size, warehouse size, eventually farmland size. Now, these services are also provided, and we are still honing our services starting from a smaller towards a smaller device, medium device, and larger devices. A lot of the subscription right now are coming, supplemental services, and customers are able to choose if they want to opt in or not. So at this stage, we have some services coming from Model M users and also ANR, most likely. And then, so this will be eventually generating more in the future once they start to, rolling and subscribing to the services. Okay. You want to tackle this one also? Okay, I think I can do this one. So we have a question asking, as a subscription service provider, does company take on abilities or loss of crops, vegetation if a facility equipment fails? Now, first of all, I want to clarify that we are technology-driven smart farming service provider. So just to elaborate, it's not just about subscription service. We are a service provider that providing not just the subscription. So going back to your question about liability or loss of crops, vegetations. Now at this stage, a lot of we just finished our beta Model R. So this is something we come in as a we as a service provider. If there's any problems that we can tackle, that's part of the deal, part of the package. So hopefully that answers your question. All right, do we have more questions here? Okay, feel free to raise your hand. Click the raise hand button. Okay. Do you have any questions, Scott, from you or Stephen?
No, I think we're pretty good. Thank you everybody for joining the call. Again, please, if you are looking to indicate, please get your indications into either Rich Rizzuto if you're a broker dealer and indicating for the IPO, or if you're an individual and you're looking to invest in the IPO, please have your bank, wherever it is that you invest, contact Craft Capital and put your indication in there as well. Other than that, again, we're looking to present a book to Nasdaq by the end of the week, and we are looking to be trading hopefully latter part of next week, if not the early part of the following. So again, thank you everybody for joining. Thank you very much to the Pinnacle team and Scott Powell for presenting. Excellent job. And again, if anybody has any follow-up questions, you can reach out to Craft Capital. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.